Welcome to One Book, One Review. Hey everybody, today's book is All the Things I've Done by Gabrielle Zevin. I saw this book on Book Red Misty's blog and she had a much nicer cover than I have. But what really caught my attention was that she asked what we would do if we lived in a world where coffee and chocolate were illegal. As I'm addicted to both coffee and chocolate, I was hooked immediately. And I have to say thanks to Misty for bringing this book to my attention, because I probably would have never read this otherwise and I really would have missed out on something. So what is it about? All the Things I've Done is about 16-year-old Anya Balanchine, who lives together with her brother and sister in New York in 2082. The world has changed. Many things are rationed or illegal, but more about that later. The story begins with Anya breaking up with her boyfriend, but luckily there's a new boy in school and they take to liking each other immediately. Unfortunately, Anya's life isn't without complications. She's a protector of her family. Ever since her parents died, she took care of everything. Although her brother is older and their bedridden grandmother is their legal guardian. The fact that her father had been the head of the Balanchine crime syndicate doesn't help make life easier for her either. And to aggravate things even more, the boy of her choice is the son of the new man at the DA's office. But this isn't a soppy teenage romance. The romance rather more complicates things for Anya, who's trying to stay out of the family business and not to draw too much attention to herself and her siblings. As the story progresses, the strategy doesn't seem to work out anymore like it used to, and Anya has to make a decision. But I don't want to give away too much, so let's talk about the setting. The future feels more like the past. So many things are illegal and the laws change constantly. The people of New York exchange vouchers for ration goods. Paper is on top of the list of restrictions, together with water. Water has become so expensive that people shower under 2 minutes. Society has fallen into a vicious cycle of prohibition and crime, which is nicely explained in the book. A big plus, as this is a YA novel and you're not expected to have prior knowledge about this. Also, there's a lack of all the amenities that our youth has gotten used to. No more cell phones and emails cost money. Flying has become really expensive and people wear vintage not because it's trendy, but because new clothes are hard to come by. All in all, I have the feeling that the world has grown bigger again. In the past 30 years or so, the world has shrunk. Flying is cheaper than ever. Global communication is easier and more affordable, and the internet has brought us all closer together. Whether this is good or bad is not to debate here, but I liked reading about a world where using the phone has become an expensive luxury. I guess what I'm really trying to say here is that the picture that Zevin draws of New York is a fascinating one, and it really makes you smile more than once. I wasn't only attracted by the setting, but also by the characters. Anya is an amazingly strong and clever girl. She knows about her responsibilities and tries to do what's right by her and by everybody else. She's always trying to look out for her siblings, following the advice and everything else she had learned from her father. Although her father had been dead when the story began, we learn a lot about the man and his character through Anya. The other characters are also complex, and even though there are some narrative strands which are predictable, the characters still hold some surprises, keeping you entertained all the way through. The novel never gets boring. I also like the writing. Anya has a very good narrative voice, likable and trustworthy. She never edits her own flaws and mistakes or gloats over someone else's shortcomings. I also liked that she didn't get too emotional, but rather stayed pragmatic. All These Things I've Done is the first book in the Birthright trilogy, and I can't wait to see what's going to happen in the second novel. Thank you all for watching One Book, One Review. Bye bye.